Morning, Dave. Thanks for joining us. It didn't turn out to be a double celebration, but it turned out to get 1 out of 2. A nice little achievement for Owen. Your thoughts? We spoke about it in the week on the shortlist. He made it.
Yeah, listen, fully deserved in my view. He had a terrific month. That's what he's capable of. We've been working really hard with him about end product and getting it not just into positions, but then sort of making his game quite basic. Just think technique. When you get there, just think technique, nothing else. And with the exception of one goal that was outstanding technique, red kick at Burton. That's what he's done. Is a couple of headers that have just technique, just head it into the ground, and suddenly they're flying in the top corner over the goalkeeper, for example. His little jink back inside. Go on, clean contact. Yeah, clean contact takes a nick, goes in the other corner. They're don't overthink things. Owen is a brilliant fella. And whereas before he was snatching at things, and we know the technique's in there. It's just sort of like bringing him down a peg or two when he's in that hustle and bustle of the penalty area. And when he just concentrates on making nice, good, clean contact, he's got the techniques to score the goals. And that's what happened last month. And that's the challenge going forward for him. So, like I say, terrific achievement. There's 500 players or more in League One, and he's the best of the lot last month. And it's a fitting reward for how we performed, but he's got to carry that on.
Does it typify at times what the football club's all about? Because I think it's gone back many, many years that you've had players gone out on loan to non-league clubs and gone right to the top in the Premier League, and even gone on to international duties. And, when you're talking over a 30-odd year sort of reign, it's still going on as well now.
Yeah, I think the football club lost that a little bit. I do. I think there was players who left this football club early on in my time, my managerial career, that hadn't been on loan. And if they'd have been on loan, I think they'd have had a better chance of being successful in the first team. And maybe that was circumstance. I have no idea. I'm not pointing fingers. I can think of one very, very good example. And he needed men's football and he didn't get it. And then when he was getting it in the first team, 5-10 appearances later, he was out the door because he needed some development time in men's football. And that couldn't happen in the first team at the time. And that development is a huge chunk and it's a massive part of it. So we try and get, it's unfortunate that this season we haven't got a couple of lads out on loan because the lower leagues aren't playing. However, we also make sure we've got to have the bodies because of the virus. So, there's a silver lining to that cloud, but it's a vital, I believe, it's a vital part of their development. And Owen's a great testament to that and a great example of that.
Obviously, there's talk building up over the last couple of days, Dave, about Perry NG. It's come out in the press, even from the South Wales side, that they're showing interest in him. First of all, I guess you're not surprised where you are now. He's running down in contract, and it's the January window.
Yeah. I think it doesn't surprise me one little bit. We've got good players at this football club, not just Perry, others. There's not much more I can say than that, really. What I would say is that we don't need to sell. It's as simple as that. We don't need to sell. We're in a great financial position. The best we've been in for a number of years. So we don't have to sell. And the offer that Cardiff made, it's just, I'm not even sure. I think we have responded, just to be polite. It didn't warrant a response. It was that derisory. It was disgusting. And it's come about an agent that's not his agent trying to stick his nose in, trying to force a deal, trying to engineer a deal, trying to upset our players. Like I say, an agent that's just trying to get paid when he's not working for us as a football club because we don't pay agents. Not the players' representative. And trying to get a deal going. And it's like, you don't understand. You just don't understand. If you think that's going to get the deal over the line, you are miles away, like between here and Mars away. Just ridiculous. And Perry understands that. He didn't understood that. They understood that in August for a whole host of reasons that's not appropriate to go into here. But Perry's getting on with it, and he's been terrific leader, terrific captain, and he's got another 4 months. And if he runs his contract down, he runs his contract down. If he doesn't, great, we have him for another few years. But that's where we're at. So if people keep making derisory offers, I'll be sat here saying exactly the same thing, and that's the current situation. I'm quite open and honest about it. I think the fans deserve to know, and that's being honest with Perry, being honest with his agent. Spoke to him 2 or 3 times yesterday. He was fuming at how the deal come about, and that's where we're at.
Well, let's move on then, because that is open, and that is exactly what the fans would want to hear. You know, it's a brilliant position that you made the stance of what you've done. Let's move on then to where you are. Fingers crossed. Not sure it's going to happen, but you're preparing for the Rochdale game now.
Yeah. Oh, we want the game on. I think Rochdale want the game on. I saw a picture in the week that they've got the covers on the pitch, so we hope that helps. The irony is that it might not be COVID that scuppers it might be the weather, but well, that's where we're at. So if it's on, great, we get to play a game of football. If it's not, then we roll on to next week. So there's no point sort of, I don't know, overthinking it, analysing it. We're in the lap of the gods, if you like. So hopefully the weather gods will smile kindly on us, and there's a big ray of sunshine over the Crown Oil Arena.
What have you actually been able to do? Because the weather hasn't been great for you to be outside, but you did look forward to working with the players. You've got facilities that you can do work with. So what have you been able to get into your players?
Well, we've trained every day. That's the first thing. Apart from the standard normal working days off and what have you. Sorry, the normal working week with the standard day off. And we've been working on the things that we feel we need to improve in, the areas we need to improve in. And I've said the training yesterday was really good. Tuesday was really, really good. What we wanted to get out of them. We don't half take on board what you're trying to do. Training yesterday was geared to Saturday, but with a development element to it as well. And then obviously today we'll focus on Rochdale and how we can beat them and what we've got to look out for when they've got the ball and what have you. So it's been a real good week. So we've got the minutes into them, the development minutes for the first time in a while, and hopefully that'll pay dividends. I can't hear you, Graham.
Sorry, we did speak earlier in the week about what was happening with the EFL and the PFA joining together to ensure that you're getting a couple of tests a week now. That's a real positive that is required. Where are you up to with your testing? Has it come back okay?
Yeah, we all got tested last week, and the testing will start again twice a week next week. So, like I said, by this time next week, I think we'll have had 3 tests in 2 weeks. So, we're as COVID secure as we can be. That's not to say that we can't have COVID cases, because the virus is highly transmissible. We all know that, and unfortunately, people have died because of that. So it doesn't make us invincible by any stretch of the imagination, but we're doing following the EFL guidelines to the letter. And we hope that minimises risk of transmission, doesn't allow any member of staff, player or staff, to become a close contact with anyone that's infected. Like I said, the players are turning up in the kit, walking out onto the training pitch, training, grabbing a sandwich, getting in the car. If they do weights after that, they sit in the car, then go and do weights. If they don't do weights, they go home. So that's where we're at, and that's as minimal as we can be, if you like. Masks everywhere, unless you're actually on the training pitch or actually lifting the weight, cleaning all the weights down. They're what we've been doing for a while. They're the rules, they're the guidelines. That's what we follow.
I spoke to Aidan Callan last night, and hopefully we're going to try and help out a little bit as much as we can of what developed last night on social media about your young academy goalkeeper in Ashton, you 12 years of age. You're very close to all what goes on in that football club. You've been in charge of that academy. Just your thoughts of how the club and the world of football have already picked up on it. I've seen quite a lot of people get involved.
Yeah, I think when you have such sort of devastating news as that, I think the football family is quite close, and beyond that, we've got videos from other sports, you know, international cricketers and whatever. I don't want to let too much out of the bag, but because Ashton hasn't seen all the videos yet, but let me tell you, we have got some unbelievable videos from across the sporting spectrum. And it's a terrific gesture. You know, all these famous people that have taken, you know, 2 or 3, 5 minutes out of their day to do what they're doing. You know, we're really thankful. And I'm sure Ashton and his family will be thankful because he's got a tough few months ahead of him, a real tough few months ahead of him. But what he needs to know is that we're all with him. We're all with him. We're all right behind him. I know that a few staff members have spoke to his mum in particular, and she's really grateful for what we're doing. I know there's a Just Giving page, so please, if you haven't already, then please help the family out and, you know, make them afford the luxury of spoiling him rotten, really, when he goes through this real tough patch. Because I don't think any one of us would want that for our own children. So, you know, it's going to be a tough few months for him, but we're all right with him. We're all hoping he comes through it. But he's a fighter. He's a good kid. I have to say, he's got a great personality, real good personality. Laugher and a joker, bubbly. And if he meets this challenging period with that kind of attitude, you know, that'll be it'll stand him in the best stead possible to overcome it. So we're all right with him, and we hope that, you know, in the not too distant future, Ashton and his family will be back at Reese Heath and back at Gressy Road, and we're all making a fuss of him in person.